Hi everybody, welcome back to this week's My Weekly Raje Fix. I hope you all had a great week. I'd like to talk to you about this week's Parshas Shmos. In this week's Parsha, we are once again introduced to the greatest leader ever, Moses, and Hashem. To fast forward for a lot of you, Hashem wants to send Moses down to Egypt to be the leader to take the Jewish people out of Mitzrayim. For those who do not know what Mitzrayim is, I am not going to tell you. You'll have to find out on your own. So, Hashem comes to Moshe Rabbeinu and he says to him, Moses, I need you to take my people out of Egypt. And so Moshe Rabbeinu says, they're not going to believe me. I need signs. This is a stubborn nation. And, they don't take anybody's word for anything. They need proof. So Hashem says to him, what is that? It's in your hand? And he says, it's my staff. So he says, take the staff and throw it down onto the ground. And he took the staff, he threw it onto the ground, and it turned into a snake. And the verse says that Moshe ran away from the snake. So my third grade understanding of this was Moshe ran away from the snake for the same reason that I ran away from the snake. I can't stand snakes. Snakes make me as nervous as anything. If I was in a room with a snake, I would probably go berserk. So when I read this, I totally was able to see, Moshe, I was totally with him on this one, and I would have ran with him, and but that was unfortunately my third grade understanding, and thankfully I got out of third grade, so I have to have a deeper understanding of what Moshe was running away from. And the idea I want to share with you is that Moshe Rabbeinu was not running away from the snake. He was running away from what the snake represented. What did the snake represent? The snake represents sin. If you all remember back in the beginning, pun intended, in the beginning of the Torah, in the beginning, in the Garden of Eden, Hashem had sent the snake to go ahead and tempt Adam and Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge, and therefore the sin is somebody that represents sin. The snake, the serpent, is one that represents sin. And when Moshe saw that his staff turned into sin, he ran away from it. Why did he run away from it? Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us a great thing. That to us, we shouldn't just look at sin as there's a good deed, there's a mitzvah, there's an aveira, there's a sin. And there's a sin. If I do a sin, it's bad. But Moshe Rabbeinu is telling us that our approach to a sin should be that of one to run away from, as if it's like this terrible evil fire, as if you were in the room with an actual snake or a scorpion or a cobra, whatever it might be, and you were deadly afraid because of its fangs that could pump venom into your body and ruin your body. Moshe Rabbeinu was saying that should be our approach to a sin. Deadly sins, deadly snakes equals deadly sins, and deadly sins ruin our body. And Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to tell us that our approach towards a sin, towards the doing aveira, should be one of reproach and one we would run away. I'll leave you with a quick story about the famed Rabbi Akiva, he was one time the guest of a particular king, and he was supposed to have an audience with the king the next day. So the king offered him 2 local harlots who were supposed to be beautiful, and he sent them into Rabbi Akiva's room. And he commanded the 2 women that they should take care of all of his needs or else. So the next morning, the king called for them, he summoned them. Did you take care of that? Did you take care of my guest? And they said, we didn't touch him, he didn't touch us. He said, what? He said, yeah, he was retching the whole night, and he was vomiting into this pail that you left in the corner of the room in the whole night. Why? Because to Rabbi Akiva, these 2 women standing in front of him, they were so abhorrent to him, they were so nauseating to him, the thought of doing a sin with them, and therefore was so nauseating to him that he couldn't even bear to look at them, and actually caused him to vomit. So hopefully one day we'll all reach that level, and we'll all feel the same way towards doing a sin, and when we feel like that, that's when Hashem will completely forgive us for the sin entirely. Have a great Shabbos, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.